are really doing this again. This feels so weird. Hey guys, what's up? It's Savannah. Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of today's video, we are doing a story time. And I never thought we would reach the day where I ran out of story times. And I don't want to say I ran out of them. I really don't, because I feel like deep down in there's one that my subconscious is just really burying. Maybe it'll surface one day. Who knows? You guys have been asking for a story time for a very long time, and I've just been sitting here and I'm like, you know, my day-to-day isn't very exciting. I don't do a lot of things. I remain inside my house most of the time, for the reason being the things that I'm going to be talking about today, they happen outside the house, and I'm not a fan. I'd rather it not happen. But I've been going out of my house more often, and here we are again. Before we get into it though, I do want to talk to you guys real quick and give you an amazing deal on one of my favorite brands. You guys have heard me talk a lot about Vincero watches in the past. I've mentioned them in several different videos. They are located in San Diego and I love them. Their quality is like unmatchable in my opinion. The styles that they have, and they actually just introduced one of their new styles, which is called the Ava, and it's so pretty. Their watches are timeless. I've gifted my boyfriend with multiple of their watches. I love them. And right now Vincero is having their huge, biggest sale of the year. Every single product on their website is on sale, you guys. Even the new collection they just dropped that I was just telling you about, that's on sale too. It is an amazing opportunity for you to get a watch and just treat yourself. You guys cannot pass up a deal this good. Vincero is celebrating their 5 years and they have just been absolutely killing it, and you have to take advantage of it while you can. It is an amazing sale and products do sell out, so make sure you get your hands on them while you can. I am a huge fan of Vincero watches for the mere reason of the quality of their watches is unmatchable in my opinion, and the price is unbeatable. Like, you can't beat these prices with a watch of this good of quality. You just can't do it. Their watches are beyond classy and elegant and timeless, and I could not recommend them enough. Definitely click the link in the description box below. It'll take you directly to the website. Who doesn't want an amazing watch at great prices? I don't know. I do. I know. I'm gonna go get myself another great watch. I love Vincero. Definitely go check it out. Links are all in the description box below. And with that being said, let's move on to the story time. So something that you should know about me that I've talked about a lot is that I am a very paranoid person. I'm as paranoid as it gets for all of the gruesome and just horrific things that I talk about. My paranoia level is like at an all-time high. It's always on 10. So when something like this happens to me, one would think that I would catch on, right? You would think that the girl whose paranoia is always on 10, who reads about shit like this happening to other people, would know. Savannah, like, let's go. Come on, turn on. Like, I don't know. The title of today's story is not a joke, and it is not, I'm not kidding, it's not clickbait. I was actually targeted at a mall, and here's the thing, these people know that I make videos. I went so much as to open up as to what I do, so it kind of is scary to me to like make this story time. I debated on it for a while, but I think that it's really important to talk about this type of stuff because you hear about it all the time. And when I experienced it firsthand and it actually settled into me what had happened, my anxiety skyrocketed. So yes, I'm here to tell you a very psychotic story time that you're gonna be like, Savannah, you're dumb. Because when I came home that day and I told everyone what had happened to me earlier, I told my mom, I told my dad, I told my boyfriend, I told my brother, every single one of them was like, about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I decided that I was going to leave the house. Let's just start there. Shouldn't have happened, but I did. And I left the house because I needed to get a charger for my camera battery because I had lost it in the move from LA to here. So I went to my local Best Buy to get a charger, and where the Best Buy in my town is surrounded by a lot of shops. It's an outdoor outlet. There's like one section that has like a Target, a Barnes & Noble, a Best Buy, a Pier 1, like all these different things over here. Then there's another section of it where you just like drive across this thing. This section has like Victoria's Secret, Lululemon, Urban Outfitters, Ulta, H&M, yada yada yada, you get it. So I was in this section. I was like, you know what, let's go check out this section before I go to Best Buy. So I went to this section of the mall and I decided to go to Victoria's Secret. So I went to Victoria's Secret. They were having a huge sale. I feel like Victoria's Secret is always having some sort of sale. Like, I go in, it's like 5 for 32 or 4 for 27. Like, they're always having some sort of sale. So I was attracted. I was like, all right, we're going in. And it was a Saturday and it wasn't super packed. There wasn't a lot of people in there. You know how Victoria's Secret has like different sections to it? They have like pink, and then you level up to like kind of slutty, and then you level up again to like a really slutty. Like, I was in the really slutty section. No shame, by the way. I was looking at their sales stuff, just kind of browsing, and mind you, I was not looking cute this day. When I leave the house, it's a very rare occasion that I look presentable. I was in leggings, Lululemon leggings, and keep that in mind. I was in Lululemon leggings and a white tank top and a sports bra. Okay? Hair was in a bun, makeup was disgusting. I was trying out a new primer that day, and blotchy is an understatement. But I'm doing my thing, minding my business, minding my damn business, and this girl walks up to me and she just says, "Oh my gosh, I love your leggings." And I said, "Oh, thanks, they're Lululemon." And you know how Lululemon like has that stupid sticker on the ass, like on literally everything that they have? You could probably see it, but I just said like they're Lululemon. And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, like, is that a California store?" Here's the thing, looking back now, Sav now says that this lie might have been a little bit more believable if there wasn't a Lululemon 3 stores down in the outdoor mall. You would have seen it. And literally when I told the story to every other person, they were like, there you go, was that like not the biggest red flag in the world? Even my dad knows what Lululemon is. Like everyone I feel like knows what Lululemon is. Whether you own Lululemon or not, like you're aware of what it is. I feel like it's a, you know, it's a thing. I respond to her like, no, like they have them everywhere, I'm pretty sure. My radar just should have been up, but it wasn't. And so me and this girl continued to start talking, and we just kind of were talking, and I was being really nice because here's the thing, like because of my paranoia that I was talking to you about, like I literally sometimes have this thing in my head where I like can overanalyze situations to make them be something that they're not. And I was like, Savannah, like we're literally in Victoria's Secret, this girl just complimented you on your leggings, like she's nice, she's cool, just go with it. So we are talking and she asks me where I live. I told her where I live. I'm gonna break this down for you. So where I live is a small town. Inside of San Diego, it's a small town. The outlet mall is about 15 minutes away. Okay, so for some people that's a long way away. For me, it's not a long way away. For San Diego, you drive just disgusting amounts in general to get from place to place, so 15 minutes is not a long time. When I told her I lived in where I lived, she responded with, "Oh, like that's really far from here, isn't it?" Almost like she didn't know where it was. I would have believed, again, see, it just takes me a second. It just takes me a second. If she didn't say the town that she lives in. Here's where I live. Here's where she lives. Literally 10 minutes away, not even. I've lived there before. You know the town that I live in. If you live there, you know here. So when she said that, I was like, no, like it's not that far from here. And she goes, oh, okay. So then as we're talking, her boyfriend walks up. Mind you, her husband walks up. They seem kind of like a little bit younger than me. As I was talking to them, at first when I saw them, I thought that they were my age. And then as we started talking a little bit more, I kind of got the notion that they were a little bit younger than me. And then they proceeded to tell me that they were in the military. We're still in Victoria's Secret in the underwear section. Like, I don't know what's happening. In San Diego, a lot of people are in the military, and that's not uncommon. Most people that live in the military live around the base of like where the military base is in San Diego. They live, if that's where they live, in the complete opposite direction. I don't think you could get any farther to the base. So that didn't really make a lot of sense to me. And right after they said that, the girl tells me like, oh my God, like I love your look. I was just telling him, like, I love your like kind of like athletic vibe, like with your hair up in a bun, like you just look like it looks so good. Like I wish that I could pull that off. This girl was wearing a dress, like a full-on like, pretty dress. Face was full glam. I look like a rat right now. Like, and I kind of like looked at her and I was like, do you see yourself? And I said that. I was like, did you look in the mirror this morning? Like, thank you for the compliment, but at the same time, it's like when it's a compliment like that, it just doesn't make sense. Here's where it gets weird. So at this point, you might just be thinking, Sav, this is just people that came up and just wanted to talk and yada yada yada. That's what I thought too. But then, these people that I just met literally about 10 minutes ago, and why we were talking for 10 minutes already is just like bizarre to me. We're talking for about 10 minutes and her husband decides to bring up this couple, and it was about the same time and it was around the same time in the conversation that they brought up where they lived, because in the town that they said that they lived in, it is a very affluent town. They told me the rent that they pay, which is already kind of like a little weird for you to tell me that. Like, why are you telling me how much you pay a month to live in your house? Like, why are you telling me? The husband tells me that when they moved to San Diego, because they had met in like a different country and then they came back here together and they got married, yada yada yada, that he is kind of being financially mentored by this couple. And this couple is 26, already retired, has 3 kids, like, best cars money could buy, like literally living the dream life, right? Because who wouldn't want to retire at 26, have a Lamborghini and a black matted out Hummer? And I know they have those cars because they showed me me a picture of these people. When they told me about this couple, I was like, that's great. Like, I'm glad that you were getting mentored and whatever by these people. The guy was like, yeah, like I sit there and I pick his brain because we try to live how they live and like yada yada yada. We're trying to like follow in their same path. And I was like, cool, like I'm happy for you, like that's great. And then they asked what I did. And usually I lie. This is where I usually lie. And not because I'm trying to hide YouTube or anything like that. Don't come at me with that bullshit. It's not what it is. It's more so for the lines of just like my safety and my privacy, which I know is kind of like double standard because I put my life out on the internet. So why would I hide it from people in real life? But it's just, I usually just don't say it because it just comes along with a lot of questions and sometimes people are really weird about it, and I just have learned to more so keep it to myself, especially with strangers. Here's what I just want to point out. You might be saying, Sam, why were you having this long ass conversation with these people in Victoria's Secret? Which we will get to more so at the end of this. My guard was so down with these people. It was where I least expected it. I was in Victoria's Secret minding my own damn fucking business, and these people just came up to me and I was okay with it because I was like, I'm in the safest place ever. Like, nothing's gonna happen to me in here. And so as we continue conversation, which mind you, this whole conversation probably lasted about 30 minutes in total. In the midst of this whole conversation, I did give her my phone number and I gave her my first and last name. Since I told her what my YouTube channel is, she's probably gonna see this video, A, and she would have figured out my last name, B. And I do want to point out something, just because I think it's important. The one thing that I told her that was not true. When talking about where they lived, her and her husband told me that they were looking to move because it was very expensive where they were living, which A, doesn't really make any fucking sense if they're living in the town that they're living in if they're in the military. Doesn't make sense. That's first point. So when they said that they wanted to move where they were moving, they actually said the exact same town that my boyfriend lives in. And mind you, I have thought through every possible scenario in my head, whether they knew me before, whether they followed me in, whether they did this or that or whatever, and we'll get to that later. I've never mentioned the town that Dane lives in. I've never said anything like that. So for them to say that and we already be kind of like knee deep into this conversation, I was like, oh, that's so weird. My boyfriend just moved there because I'm a fucking dumbass. They asked me where he moved, like the apartment complex of where he moved. And I purposefully told them, just PSA, I told them the wrong complex. It's not where he lives. He doesn't live there, FYI. And okay, so this couple kind of gave off the impression that they didn't really know a lot of people. They didn't have a lot of friends, which is why I gave them my phone number. Like, that's why I was like, yo, like, if you ever want to hang out, like me and my boyfriend, like we could all like double date. It'd be fun. It'd be cool, whatever. Because they seemed like nice people. And so I literally, that's why I gave her my phone number. We kind of started talking about like the San Diego lifestyle, how San Diego is as a whole. And they were saying that they're still trying to get adjusted to the San Diego lifestyle, like being very relaxed and chill and like the stereotypes that come along with living in San Diego. And when they said that, I was like, yeah, I've been here for like 7 years and I'm still trying to get adjusted to it. And that is when her husband looks at me and says, what kind of lifestyle do you want to live? Dead ass, in my eyes, what kind of lifestyle do you want to live? Like, we're in the underwear aisle of Victoria's Secret. Like, I don't know. I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know. And I was like, oh, this shit just got real deep. I don't know. And he was like, yeah, I had someone ask me that question before and like, it just really made me think. So I was wondering what your opinion was on it. Underwear section of Victoria's Secret. And so about 30 minutes goes by in this conversation and I was like, listen, like I have shit to do today. I don't have time today. I was like, listen, I have to go to the dressing room to try these on. It was great to meet you. Text me if you want to hang out, yada, 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 whatever. Gave her a hug, shook his hand, went into the dressing room. And it was at that point that I checked my phone because when we exchanged numbers, I gave her my phone and she gave me her phone. And at that point that we got into the dressing room, I noticed that she called herself from my phone, meaning that when she typed in her name, which mind you, she didn't put in her last name, she just typed in her first name, which I don't believe is her name in general, by the way. She called herself from my phone and then hung up immediately. That way, she always has my number. Like, she will now not have my number, you know? So I go into the dressing room. I'm not in there for any more than 2 minutes. I walk out, both of them are gone. When I walked out of that dressing room, that is when I got the feeling of that was not right. Something about that was very, very wrong and very, very off. And let me tell you something. Going to where I went, I didn't feel unsafe, which is part of the reason why my guard was very down. And when I got out of Victoria's Secret, I literally texted Dane and I was like, I met some cool people in Victoria's Secret today. You should hang out with them. And he was like, yeah, like, okay, like weird, but like, okay. And so later that night, I got a text message and I got this text message later that night. Hey girl, the girl you met today, just wanted to say it was so nice meeting you and I enjoyed talking to you. I love meeting people with the same mindset as us. When I read that, and mind you, I was pretty drunk when I read that because they were saying, I love people who think with the same mindset as us. That sounds like a cult. I'm sorry, I may be wrong. wrong. That sounds like a cult. And so I texted her and I said, hey, it was so nice to meet you too. I told my boyfriend about you. I told my boyfriend about you and her husband, which I'll blur the name out too, and we should definitely get together. So she texts me, and this is the text that really fucked with my head, and this is where things started to change. Hey, so we truly enjoyed talking to you. So me and my husband actually talked last night, and that couple that we told you about, we feel compelled to not be selfish with the people we're connected to, and that honestly we would love to put in a good word for you guys. That's if in all fucking capital letters, you would value and be grateful for that. It's not guaranteed, but if not, it's completely fine, and let's set up that double date. Listen, they mentioned this couple, you guys, multiple times. So much so that they showed me a picture of this couple. This is my first time meeting them. Like, first 30 minutes of me meeting them, and they have not failed to mention this couple. They brought them up multiple times throughout this conversation. And they just said that they were like these really like wealthy people who were well off at 26, living their life, 3 kids, like they're doing so great. Me and these people at Victoria's Secret talked about the school system. School isn't for certain people, and then again they brought up this couple and they're like, yeah, like they're 26, they're fucking living large. Like, why are you showing me this? Like, why are you showing me this? First of all, I don't care. That's the first thing. I don't care. Second of all, this is weird. It's so weird. And what I really had a problem with in that text message that she said is when she said, that's if you would value and be grateful for that. Listen, I never asked you to do anything for me. I don't know you. And when I talked to Dane and I sent him that text message, he was like, absolutely not, like this is a no-go. Abort mission, jump ship, like this is not good. Dane made such a good point. He told me, like, if this couple that these people know is like so great and they value them so much and they're so inspirational to them and they look up to them and yada yada yada, they met me for like 30 minutes. They don't know a single thing about me. Why would they put me in contact with these people that they value so greatly if they don't know a single fucking thing about me? Point being, I could be a serial killer. I could be anyone. I'm not. Even if I was, like, you would be so willing to like put me in contact with these people that, and like you don't know me? Like that is shady. Like something is shady there. So then I started getting really paranoid because when I started thinking about it, I was like, nothing about this makes sense. And when I started really thinking about it and their mannerisms and the phone calling, especially because I have not been able to find them on anything. I've looked for their Instagram, I've looked for their Facebook, I have checked my followers, nothing. For the majority of the people that I have talked to, their main theory is that it was more so of a money scheme. I was wearing Lululemon. I had a Louis Vuitton bag that I was gifted for my 21st birthday with me. They saw me walking into Victoria's Secret, saw me getting out of my car, and that's how they kind of pinned me down. And I've also had other people tell me that it could have been like I hate to say this, like this literally scares the shit out of me, but I've had other people say that it could have possibly been like a sex trafficking thing or something like that, and that terrifies me. And I guess the good news in all of this is that these people, whatever their scam was, they're not good at it, because you would think if they were good at it, they would groom me more, you know? Like they would hang out with me again, like they would really try to butter me up before they fucking snatched. But here's the thing, I don't believe that it was just a friendship. You don't go up to someone in a store, talk to them for 30 minutes about literally everything, where you met, where you live, how much your rent is, what your life goals are, this couple that financially mentors you. Like you don't talk about those things the first time you meet someone. You don't. I don't care how bad of social skills you have, you don't do that. I do want to point out that she did text me after I didn't respond to her text, the one that said like if you would value and be grateful for that, and she texted me 2 days later and said, hey girl, I didn't mean to give the wrong impression if I did. It was so great talking to you and I wish you the best of luck in life and in your career. You're awesome to talk to. Maybe I'll see you around again. And even that message doesn't sit well with me, because the maybe I'll see you around again really just trips me up. I just don't like it, because then my paranoia gets back on 10 and then I start in this cycle again. It's not good. And some of you might be watching this and be like, Sav, like you're so in your head about this. Like this was literally just a nice couple who went up to you and wanted to talk to you. And maybe you're right. Maybe I'm a bitch. But I know what I felt when I was walking out of that store, and it wasn't good. No, I tweeted the next night. It was Sunday night that I tweeted, my anxiety is through the roof or something like that. But I tweeted that, and that is because that's when it really sunk into me what had been happening and what I just went through. Not that it was like some traumatic experience, but like what could have happened, you know, if I didn't like talk to someone about it and like start talking to other people and being like, no, your gut feeling was right. The other part of the reason I didn't want to make this is because I know if the off chance, the 1% chance that I am wrong on this and my gut feeling did me wrong, they will probably see this video. I don't know. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments. Hopefully I explained it well enough. I don't know. It felt so weird and wrong to me. I don't know what scam they're trying to pull, and you might have thought you got a fast one on me, but not this one. But my main point in here, my main goal in telling the story story is to tell you guys to always stay safe no matter what. Always have your guard up when you're out. Eyes in the back of your head. Be smarter than I was. I never thought that someone would pull some shady shit like this on me. I thought that I was so above all that. Alright, you guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to check out the Vincero watches link in the description box below for their biggest sale of the year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in a couple of days with a brand new freaking video. Bye, guys.